The title of our presentation is Bridging Physical and Virtual Realms, Statics of Audiovisual Immersion in Telematic Composition and Performance. The presentation has two parts. In the first part, I will introduce the theoretical background of our research. In the second part, Cássia Carrascoza will talk about my immersive audiovisual telematic works, focusing on our collaboration and performance. Here's an overview of the topics of my presentation. First, intermedia. Second, the technical apparatus. Third, digital consciousness. Fourth, sound imaginations. And fifth, audiovisual telematic immersion. Intermedia and audiovisual composition. What is intermedia? The concept of intermedia arises from the extension of polyphony into other domains of perception and experience. Intermedia composition explores artistic connections between different media such as sound, image, speech, movement, gesture, and space while interacting with technical and media apparatuses. In the history of music, there are plenty of examples of how music creates multiple connections with audio media. For instance, the coupling of possibilities of the media sound, text, and speech generates hybrid forms such as the medieval ballad, the romantic lied, and commercial pop songs. These connections present a world of meaning that is shaped based on selections of possibilities processed in interdisciplinary domains. In contrast to traditional forms in which music is combined with other media, the shaping of intermedia is coupled with the use of technical apparatuses that allow it coming into being by accomplishing the crossing of boundaries of the individual media that facilitates their interpenetration. It leads to the creation of hybrid forms. Intermedia composition, dynamics, and divergence. Key tendencies. Two tendencies define the landscape of intermedia composition: the interaction with apparatuses and the differentiation process. On the one side, we observe the systematic use of technical apparatuses for creating artworks. On the other side, the differentiation process drives the emergence of new interdisciplinary art domains, reshaping how we observe and define art. Technical apparatuses are pivotal in merging various media, allowing for innovative expressions. The involvement of apparatuses and the artistic process is integral, leaving indelible marks on the artwork itself. Differentiation is the birth of new art forms emerging from the evolving landscape of societal functions. Sound art reflects the diversity of contemporary interpretations of sound. It exemplifies the challenge of finding a unified perspective on sound and music. The technical apparatus transforming art and perception. The use of apparatuses in art introduces a unique ambiguity. On the one hand, they unlock new creative possibilities. On the other, they impose limits that can curb freedom and critical engagement. Plusser highlights this duality, noting that while experimental engagement with apparatuses can lead to innovation, the programmed nature of these tools can also lead to automatic, uncritical use. It's essential to critically engage with the dual nature of apparatuses in intermedia composition, recognizing both their potential and their limitations. Artists must navigate the delicate balance between exploring the potential of apparatuses and subverting the constraints of their programmed realities. From optical to digital consciousness. Modern technology, especially photography and film, has revolutionized art, freeing it from its traditional constraints of authenticity and ritual. Deliberation allows audiences to become active participants in the creative experience, shifting the focus from the artwork's original context to its representation and interpretation. In filmmaking, the camera plays a central role, capturing performances not only for a live audience, but for the eventual viewer, fundamentally change the nature of performance and reception. The camera's role extends beyond mere recording. It performs through shooting and editing techniques, requiring audiences to engage with both the actors and the camera's performances. Benjamin claims that artists must critically explore the potential of the apparatus to ensure it enhances rather than limits artistic expression. The goal is to prevent the technical apparatus from becoming an object of uncritical admiration, maintaining a focus on its creative potential. Benjamin introduced the concept of the optical unconscious, explaining how photography allowed people to see beyond the visible, revealing hidden aspects of reality. Today, we transition from this optical realm into a digital landscape where big data and artificial intelligence form what is known as the information regime. Han links Benjamin's concept to the modern era, where big data and artificial intelligence not only reveal but also shape unseen realities beneath our conscious awareness. These technologies have evolved from merely revealing to actively influencing human behavior, penetrating at the pre-reflexive level to shape our perceptions and actions. Just as the camera was a tool for exploring the unseen in the past, big data and AI now serve as a digital magnifying glass, a tool that extends beyond visual spaces into behavioral and cognitive realms. This technology uncovers patterns and insights in vast amounts of data that are invisible to the human eye and mind, influencing decision making and behaviors without conscious realization. Big data and AI operate at below the level of conscious thought, affect instincts and emotions directly, which can guide human behavior in subtle and significant ways. This profound influence raises questions about privacy, consent, and the ethical use of technology in manipulating human behavior. Now, I will briefly present my research and artistic project, Sound Imaginations. The research questions that concerned me were: how do different cultures have different approaches to listening? How do different human beings listen in different ways? How do we hear the acoustic environment, living beings, surrounding machines, architecture, natural and cultural spaces? Based on Schulze, I looked into the following 7 categories of listening cultures: listen cultures of relationships, listen cultures of work, listen cultures of entertainment, listen cultures of protest, listen cultures of violence, listen cultures of noun sound, future of listening. I did sound and video recording in the following geographic areas: in São Paulo, Brazil, in Riverside, California, in Moscow, Russia, in Mannheim, Germany, and in Pune, India. I use the following equipment for the field research: multi-channel audio recording, ambisonics microphone, and video 3D camera. Here are some photos of the equipment that I use. And here are some pictures of the use of equipment during the field recordings. This is in India. This is in India and in Moscow, in India, in India, in São Paulo, in São Paulo, in Moscow, in Moscow. And here we see recordings on a Shiva temple in the surroundings of Pune in India. In March 2020, I created an audiovisual immersive installation in Riverside, California, consistent of multi-channel surround sound system 7.1, multi-channel visual projection system with a large central projection screen extended along one wall, 12 video monitors distributed through the space, and a video monitor for title and presentation placed outside at the entrance. Here we have a short video that documents the installation. Some thoughts on the aesthetics of audiovisual immersion that are pursued in this work. Dynamic visual space utilizes 3D rotations, circular movements, and perspective shifts to continuously transform the 360-degree space. Vertiginous visual flow. The flow of 3D imagery induces a sensation of vertiginous movement, constantly captivating and engaging the viewer's attention. Enveloping sound experience surrounds the listener with a vibrational system offering an immersive auditory experience. Complex audiovisual sync establishes complex relationships of synchrony and asynchrony between sound and image, enriching the immersive experience through the dynamic interplay of sensory elements. And here are some references that I used in my research and for this presentation. Thank you very much for your attention.